Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driving Insights Podcast by M5 Management Services, where we cover ways for your fixed operations department to gain efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. I'm your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager at M5 Management Services, and on today's show, we'll talk about why dealerships should make customer retention and building vocal brand advocates top priorities. We'll discuss how repeat business and referrals from happy customers fuel sustainable growth more than new customer acquisition alone. I'll share valuable statistics demonstrating the sales impact and increased spending driven by local brand champions. We'll also cover specific strategies around improving customer experience, strengthening relationships, and wowing clients to drive higher retention rates. So buckle up. You're listening to Driving Insights. When it comes to business growth and profitability, acquiring new customers often seems more exciting than retaining existing ones. However, the data shows that focusing on keeping current customers happy and turning them into loyal advocates may be the most critical element for long-term success. Why is that, you ask? Well, because loyal, satisfied customers provide repeat business that fuels revenue growth year after year. Statistics show that retaining customers can cost 5 to 7 times less than continually spending money and effort to find new ones. Plus, happy customers are extremely likely to make referrals to friends, family, and colleagues. In fact, over 90% of consumers say a personal recommendation influences their purchasing decisions more than anything else. But customers who are merely satisfied likely won't go out of their way to bring referrals in. The goal should be to delight customers so much that they become vocal advocates for your brand. Advocates don't just make occasional repeat purchases, they actively promote products they love within their own networks. They leave online reviews, showcase brands on social media, and reference them in conversations. This word-of-mouth influence drives significant awareness and sales. Given the tremendous ROI of cultivating customer advocacy, businesses would be wise to prioritize customer retention, provide stellar service, over-deliver on promises, and show customers you truly value them. Identify moments when you can surprise and delight. The more you wow people, the more likely they'll share their enthusiasm with others. While new customer acquisition has its place in growth, the most successful, enduring companies build their foundations on loyalty. But what actually is customer retention? Well, customer retention refers to the ability of a business to retain its existing, paying customers over time. The goal of a sound customer retention strategy is to keep those who have already purchased products or services from your company coming back again and again instead of losing their business to competitors. Essentially, customer retention focuses on maintaining strong and lasting relationships with customers that lead to repeat purchases. This sets it apart from customer acquisition, which concentrates purely on bringing in first-time buyers. The level of customer retention a company achieves is typically measured by looking at retention rates or customer churn rates over specified periods of time. For example, a hotel could examine what percentage of guests from 2020 booked another stay in 2021 or 2022. The higher the repeat booking rate, the better the business was at retaining customers. Now, conversely, you can measure the churn rate, which indicates what portion of customers stopped coming back over the same time frame. A low churn rate signals effective retention practices. The incentives for businesses to optimize customer retention levels are clear. As previously mentioned, retaining existing customers tends to cost less than getting the new ones. Plus, longtime customers often end up purchasing more over their lifetime compared to a one-time buyer. Successful customer retention leads to predictable revenues, steady company growth, and reduced overall marketing expenses. Now, on the other hand, losing customers means lost sales in the short and long run. It can also damage brand reputation if enough customers get dissatisfied and share negative opinions. In essence, focusing seriously on keeping current customers coming back needs to be a pillar of any sound business strategy. Define key retention metrics to gauge progress over time and continuously refine tactics as needed, whether improving products and services, enhancing the customer experience, or crafting targeted retention promotions. Making retention a priority will pay dividends through greater customer lifetime value as well. When constructing their growth strategies, many businesses focus heavily on new customer acquisition. They pour significant resources into advertising, promotions, and lead generation activities aimed at rapidly expanding their customer base. However, research overwhelmingly shows that working to retain existing customers requires much less investment and ultimately drives greater profits over time. In fact, statistics reveal it costs 5 to 7 times more to acquire a new customer than it does to keep an existing one. Some analysts estimate this difference in cost can be even higher in certain industries. Either way, the numbers are startling. Now, you may be asking, what accounts for such a dramatic gap? Well, first, attracting a new customer generally requires extensive upfront marketing and sales efforts, including advertising costs just to get their attention. There's no guarantee that these efforts will even translate to sales. Now, compare this to keeping customers you already have experience with and understand. Additionally, new customers have to go through an onboarding process to learn about your brand, products, or services. This requires donated time and effort from sales and customer support staff. However, ongoing customers are already familiar and can simply reorder or continue their service. No ramp up is needed, saving human resources expenses. The cost difference holds true when looking at customer lifetime value as well. Repeat loyal buyers end up purchasing more over many years compared to one-time shoppers. They require less incentives too. Developing this loyalty necessitates some retention marketing efforts, but still pales in comparison to starting from scratch with new leads. Given these striking variances in cost structures, companies should shift more investment into retention building initiatives targeting existing customers. While new customer acquisition has its place in growth, the most profitable path forward lies in doubling down on keeping current relationships strong and enduring. And the numbers don't lie. In business, maintaining beats obtaining. Now, every business wants to grow and increase profits over time. That's a given. There's 2 primary ways to spur that growth. Expand your customer base by continually getting new customers, or get more value from existing customers via repeat business and referrals. And when it comes to a sustainable, cost-effective approach, prioritizing existing customers is really the best path. Repeat business from satisfied customers provides a reliable, predictable revenue stream that keeps money consistently coming in. Companies can accurately forecast future earnings better when customer retention and repeat purchase rates are high. And this makes budgeting, hiring, expansion planning, and other initiatives easier to model out. And additionally, serving repeat customers costs less compared to winning new business, thanks to established relationships and lower marketing costs. Higher lifetime value is generated as well. Referrals take this ongoing revenue generation to another level. When you provide such outstanding services that you delight customers, they are very willing to recommend you to friends, family, and colleagues. And in essence, raving fans generate free word-of-mouth marketing. Referred customers convert at very high rates thanks to built-in trust and social proof. The more referrals keep pouring in, the faster growth occurs. In contrast, though, trying to buy new customers through expensive sales and marketing doesn't leverage existing social connections. Results tend to be less consistent as well when solely chasing newcomers. However, doubling down on customer happiness to earn referrals and repeat business creates a self-perpetuating growth fueled by quality experiences. It promotes stability while expanding revenue streams. And for those reasons, the smartest companies place retaining and delighting current customers at the core of their growth initiatives. All customers have their own level of engagement and sentiment toward a business. On one end of the spectrum are the critics, unsatisfied customers who may actively damage your brand reputation by sharing complaints with their networks. On the opposite end sits the powerfully influential advocates, delighted customers who voluntarily promote your products and enhance your brand image. Understanding the progression from critic to advocate reveals why companies should prioritize moving customers into higher states of positive engagement. Critics represent the lowest level of customer engagement. These customers experience dissatisfaction significant enough for them to speak out against your company. They discourage friends, family, and online connections from purchasing based on their negative viewpoints. Critics also vent frustrations directly to the company, requiring service efforts to potentially reverse their experience. Their word-of-mouth impact creates downstream sales and reputational consequences. Neutral customers are those with neither strongly positive or negative perceptions. They simply conduct an occasional transaction out of convenience or when necessity dictates. These passive customers won't damage your brand, but they certainly won't contribute to growth either. Making them more engaged takes additional marketing and customer experience efforts. Now, higher up are loyal, satisfied, repeat customers. These individuals like your company and consistently return to purchase products or services. They've trusted your brand to fulfill specific needs over competitors. While loyal customers represent stable sources of revenue, their moderate engagement still caps the referral value potential. Now, brand advocates sit atop of the customer engagement period by far. Their delight with their overall experience leads them to organically reference and recommend your company without expecting anything in return. Whether through social media, shout-outs, positive online reviews, word-of-mouth testimonials, or other mentions, advocates produce invaluable, authentic marketing content and drives conversions. This top-tier group is key for exponential growth. Moving customers up the engagement ladder, turning critics into neutrals, neutrals into repeat buyers, and repeat buyers into vocal advocates must be a central focus. Fortunately, prioritizing customer retention and exceeding service expectations greases the wheels for this progression. Deliver on your brand promise and customers will deliver growth in return. Customer advocates are vocal brand champions who go out of their way to recommend companies they love. Their organic endorsements and positive word of mouth drive measurable impact on business growth. Impressive statistics quantify just how valuable advocates are in generating referrals, boosting online reputation, and utilizing social media to hype brands they support. Referrals from people within a customer's social circles or professional networks consistently prove to be the most effective channel for driving awareness and purchase decisions. Over 90% of consumers stated that a personal recommendation influences what they buy more than anything else. Even online reviews from strangers carry more weight than company claims about their own products or services. The power of recommendation holds true across industries. According to Nielsen, people are 83% more likely to trust referrals from acquaintances over advertisements. McKinsey notes that word of mouth drives more than twice as many sales of consumer products compared to paid advertising. Clearly, tapping into customer advocates to refer your brand is hugely impactful. Online reviews also offer compelling evidence of advocates' influence. A staggering 97% of consumers read online reviews when researching businesses. Companies with 5-star customer ratings convert new prospects at 5 times higher rates. With the majority of people checking Facebook and Google reviews before engaging with a business, advocates help companies stand out very favorably. And advocates certainly leverage their social media presence too for sharing brand love. Over half promote brands, products, or services on social platforms. 28% give online shoutouts to companies that provide great customer service. Advocates also respond positively to engagement from brands on social media, commenting on posts, sharing user-generated content, and participating in campaigns. Their broad networks take note. The numbers don't lie. Customer advocates drive measurable value through all major customer influence channels today. Their vocal support leads directly to trust, goodwill, and sales. That's why companies invest heavily in customer experience to spark positive word of mouth from highly engaged advocates, and delighted customers become their best marketers. The most valuable customers for any business are advocates, loyal brand champions who actively recommend companies they passionately support. Statistics reveal compelling financial incentives beyond positive word of mouth that make turning customers into advocates well worth the effort. Notably, advocates spend substantially more than average buyers over the long term, and their personal recommendations heavily influence the purchase selections made by people within their networks. On average, advocacy drivers spend 2 times more than regular, moderately satisfied customers on brands they love, according to research by Edelman and LinkedIn. This applies across both large occasional purchases and routine smaller transactions. Additionally, the longer a customer remains an advocate over years and decades, the higher their lifetime value soars. Their enthusiasm for brands even motivates trying additional product lines or more frequent purchases. There are logical reasons for advocates' higher spending levels. Their enjoyment of their experience and emotional connection with a company predisposes them to direct more wallet share to those trusted brands. Advocates also follow and engage more with brands on social media, email, and other channels that promote new offerings. This leads to add-on sales. Additionally, special promotions reserved for top customers further entices advocates to increase order values. But arguably, advocates' greatest asset is their ability to shift purchase decisions among new prospects. Like we said before, a staggering 92% of people trust recommendations from people they personally know over any form of advertising. These referrals convert upwards of 3x higher as well compared to other leads. Even reviews from unknown customers carry more weight in decision-making than company marketing materials. Clearly, winning over the hearts and minds and social influence of brand advocates pays huge dividends. Their spending and referring pack a powerful 1-2 punch for growing revenues. Forward-looking companies invest accordingly in customer experience, service, and retention policies with recognition of this in mind. Creating vocal, enthusiastic supporters generates the best kind of sales-stimulating peer pressure. When companies think about driving growth, the instinct is often to pour energy into sales and marketing campaigns to attract new customers. However, the data shows that the better path to long-term profits is actually to double down on building strong customer relationships through top-notch service. While new customer acquisition has its place, retaining existing buyers through a customer-centric approach is the most cost-effective way to fuel sustainable expansion. Building connections on a human level transforms impersonal transactions into supportive, trusted partnerships over time. This forms the foundation that customer retention and growth can flourish upon. When customers feel their needs are valued and made a priority, their loyalty and willingness to refer skyrockets. Service then becomes about identifying ever-evolving needs and solving problems, not just addressing complaints when they arise. Delivering excellent service enriched by relationship building requires insights into customer preferences, priorities, and pain points. This means actively collecting first-party data across interactions and touch points to inform personalization. It also necessitates enabling all employees to have compassionate dialogues, whether support reps, account managers, or even service techs. Training frontline staff in emotional intelligence and communication framing focused on understanding facilitates this. Technology also plays a role in scaling personalized service. New AI-powered chatbots can handle common inquiries to free up staff for relationship building. Predictive analytics identify at-risk customers for proactive outreach. Voice of the customer feedback flows directly into product development. And automation handles manual processes to avoid frustrating delays. However, nothing can replace genuine human connection. The companies consumers rave about always lead with empathy. Leaders must instill across the organization that obstructing relationships via rigid policies undermines the core path to prosperity. Customer centricity means everything orbits around the customer experience. While chasing endless acquisition gains makes headlines, the humble work of strengthening bonds with existing customers is how legacies get built in business. Where there are strong relationships, revenue growth follows. Frontline customer-facing employees often have the most direct contact with customers. However, many companies constrain these personnel with strict protocols that limit their ability to resolve issues. This can frustrate customers and staff alike, but a better approach is to empower employees with authority and autonomy to immediately address problems and delight customers. When staff lack latitude to think creatively and act independently, even smaller customer issues get kicked to managers or other departments. This forces customers to repeat complaints and wait for a resolution. However, research shows that customers highly value speed and convenience when problems arise. Empowered staff can fix things fast, greatly enhancing satisfaction. Empowerment means giving staff the permission, tools, and training and incentives to identify where processes break down and circumvent barriers on behalf of the customer. For example, authorizing call center reps to offer limited discounts, refunds, or even free services to apologize for difficulties, or allowing staff to send small gifts if an order gets delayed. The ability to wow customers, not just recover neutrally, pays huge dividends. Now, to facilitate this, leadership must cultivate a culture centered around employee initiative rather than over-reliance on management decisions. Set clear guidelines for acceptable autonomous actions like credits and complimentary upgrades, but also foster critical thinking skills so staff feel comfortable exercising their judgment. Ask staff directly for creative ideas on improvements. You can also incorporate customer happiness into performance metrics used for screening, reviews, promotions, and compensation. Recognize those who go above and beyond expectations. When employees at all levels feel fulfilled making customers smile, retention and referrals will grow. No management team can anticipate all possible customer issues that might emerge, though. But frontline teams know pain points intimately. Remove company constraints so they can instantly solve problems with care and creativity. Now, if you're struggling with retention or ideas on how to promote customer loyalty, please contact us. Our consultants have many years experience on the subject and can come up with some truly unique and creative ways to help your fixed ops department. Go on to www.m5ms.com and fill out a free consultation form. And one of our amazing consultants will get back to you and start to help you brainstorm with ways on how to increase your customer retention. Consumers have endless options to secure goods and services with just a few clicks thanks to e-commerce. This radical transparency and simplicity has conditioned buyers to expect frictionless interactions across all their customer experiences. Unfortunately, many companies still hamstring customers with tedious approval processes and confusing policies rooted in archaic ways. To boost retention in today's age, making doing business easy and painless must become an urgent priority. What does it mean exactly for a company to facilitate easy, pain-free business? Well, first, it requires an obsessive focus on eliminating any customer effort or potential complications across the entire customer life cycle. Identifying every friction-causing failure point, confusing marketing materials, complicated order processes, hard-to-access support, and long resolution times for issues. Then re-engineer experiences around customer conveniences rather than internal operational procedures. This demands dismantling company silos too that obstruct fast, unified action on behalf of customers. Marketing, sales, accounts, support, and other departments need shared access to CRM systems and transparency around handoffs. Such cross-team alignments maintains context and streamlines communication across all touchpoints. Bring teams together to map and optimize journeys. Additionally, business leaders should mandate maximizing self-service opportunities as part of the drive toward easy interactions. Online portals with account access, virtual assistants, and chatbots handle routine needs so staff can focus on complex exceptions. Build processes with automation and AI to scale immediately, resolving problems before they frustrate customers. The future enterprise runs on quickly satisfying customers, not making them wait. And of course, pursuing operational excellence to facilitate seamless interactions shouldn't come at the expense of genuinely helping people. Include humans in the loop for emotional and complicated situations, but remove every possible barrier to getting customers' answers or resolutions right away across all channels. Challenger brands today set the bar very high. Match that expectation and loyalty will skyrocket thanks to a consistently easy, pain-free experience. Many companies passively wait for customers to organically provide feedback by posting reviews or contacting them with problems. However, actively soliciting input directly from existing customers through surveys, interviews, and other collection methods uncovers far more insights than this reactive approach. The real differentiator comes in actually applying that feedback to improve products, services, and overall experiences. Seeking feedback requires a robotic, generic survey approach to reveal where critical weaknesses exist and what matters most to customers when making decisions. Target specific customers' personas with tailored questions around pain points, satisfaction levels across transaction stages, likelihood of referrals given experience thus far, and desired areas of investment. Identify not just the problems, but opportunities to delight. Include open-ended questions to uncover qualitative takeaways numbers alone won't provide. Distributing periodic, brief surveys immediately following interactions creates a feedback engine at your fingertips while feelings remain fresh. Whether right after an online purchase or equipment installation or speaking with a call center agent, inviting input in the moment surfaces urgent areas for better alignment with needs before minor frustrations evolve into serious complaints publicly posted online. But simply collecting sentiments without visible responsive action erodes trust over time if problems continue unresolved. Customers want to know that their voices creates real change. Set up internal processes for rapidly analyzing feedback at scale to spot systemic gaps. Empower teams to brainstorm and launch initiatives, both small tweaks and substantial changes connected directly to customer priorities. Close the loop by highlighting improvements driven by past participation in surveys. Customer obsession means seeing everything through a lens of constantly optimizing around those you serve. Soliciting feedback opens a portal into the evolving needs of customers, and following up on those insights by turning revelations into improvements keeps companies progressing forward. Together, these steps tighten critical bonds. Many companies talk about putting customers first. But moving beyond superficial lip service to actually build a customer-centric culture with internal behaviors and processes truly oriented around customers takes hard work. Leadership plays an integral role in establishing, championing, and reinforcing norms centered around understanding and servicing customers. This cultural foundation then empowers all employees to drive decision-making and actions focused entirely on optimizing the customer experience through a shared vision and values. A customer-centric culture starts with leaders communicating why consumer happiness trumps all other business priorities to build an enduring brand. Share case studies of highly customer-centric competitors and the growth fueled by their obsessive focus on serving others. Contrast this against transactional companies that ultimately crumble due to self-interest. Rally the organization around an aspirational, ideological purpose beyond profits. Additionally, leaders need to define what success looks like in the organization when seen through the lens of exceeding customer expectations across functions. Paint a picture of how all roles collectively support and influence the customer journey. Celebrate wins frequently where individuals or teams take initiative solving a customer pain point, and have executives themselves man the phones or chat lines periodically to instill frontline customer empathy. Now, of course, culture also hinges on how everyday work gets done. So ensure collaboration and transparency across siloed departments to align all efforts to the customer vantage point. Provide teams exposure to customer feedback. Grant flexibility from standard protocols if needed to resolve issues faster. Support trial and error of new ideas that could strengthen loyalty and retention, and have senior staff participate in key initiatives to signal priority. An authentic culture that breeds customer advocates cannot be imposed top-down, however via generic platitudes. Employees must internalize that their daily responsibilities, attitudes, and actions either contribute to or undermine positive experiences. Regular reinforcement facilitates this through training, storytelling wins, and accountability to service standards. Leadership sets the direction, but staff collectively bring the vision formed through a customer-first culture to life. While exploring best practices for boosting customer retention and advocacy, the overarching takeaway for business leaders should be crystal clear. The path to longevity and profitability lies in obsessively keeping existing customers satisfied and happy. In an age where consumers have unlimited options and purchasing power at their fingertips, brands cannot take loyalty for granted through transactional interactions alone. Experiences must be so remarkable that they spark emotional connections, driving customers to return and rave to others. This requires moving beyond a sales mindset to foster genuine relationships underpinned by understanding people's evolving needs and serving them exceptionally well. While flashy marketing to continuously land new customers generates headlines, the companies still around in 100 years won't be those fixated on chasing transactions through promotion after promotion. They'll be the ones who laid foundations brick by brick through building trust, delighting individuals and cementing bonds over time through customer commitment. Leaders must wake up each day not asking how can we sell more today, but rather how can we strengthen our relationship with every customer, listen to them better, and act on what we learn. Revenue growth can accelerate wildly when you get the culture, experience, and engagement recipe just right. But it starts with the simple concept that keeping customers happy drives everything else. Build your house on that rock-solid principle. The strategies covered today, whether soliciting feedback, empowering employees, expressing appreciation, or streamlining pain points, all funnel back to keeping customers so satisfied that your business becomes a beloved brand. That's the lasting competitive advantage that fuels growth for decades and even generations to come. The intense pressure that executives and investors put on businesses to hit ever-rising revenue targets often motivates short-sighted decisions that undermine long-term prosperity. Leadership may push teams to pursue sales at any cost, even at the expense of customer experience. However, the data shows that making customer retention the priority before short-term revenue growth sets companies up for more sizable, stable profits over time. Prioritizing retention means saying no to potentially lucrative revenue streams if engaging with them would introduce unnecessary friction or complexity to the customer journey. For example, selling customer data to third parties or partners might generate quick income but erode that trust. Pushing add-on upsells without clear value aggravates buyers. Leadership must ground teams firmly in retention's connection to bottom lines. Now, investing in retention may depress current quarter incomes, but produces compounding returns over subsequent years. Something as simple as extending call center hours for added customer convenience raises operational costs before revenue impact. Similarly, overhauling complicated policies to ease pain points takes upfront work for downstream yields. Embracing near-term losses sets the stage for substantial gains at scale. Leaders must incentivize and measure teams based on customer lifetime value achieved, not merely transactional gains. Compensate based on satisfaction scores and retention rates over 12, 24, and 36 months. Shout retention wins from the rooftop, not just sales figures. Signal that making customers happy is the first priority. And of course, none of this means ignoring revenue entirely. Businesses still need income to keep the lights on. But the most successful companies explicitly link revenue as a lagging outcome of delighting customers first. They invest continuously to strengthen relationships, knowing profits naturally will follow. Building customer-centric cultures gives permission to balance short-term revenue demands if needed to uphold what matters most: retaining happy customers for the long haul. Now, before we go, we've got some more homework for you. We've created a 10-point idea list for you to explore how your dealerships can start to increase customer retention and truly wow your customers. It's available in the show notes and on our website, www.m5ms.com, under the Driving Insights section. You'll see the episode list and a link to download the idea list. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for listening. I've been your host, Tim Harkins, brand manager at M5 Management Services. As always, if you have any questions or topic suggestions, or may be interested in how M5 could help your fixed operations department, please contact us on our website, www.m5ms.com. Make sure to tune in next time where we'll talk about more industry topics that will help drive your fixed operations department to increased efficiency, customer retention, and long-term profitability. Thank you, everyone. This has been Driving Insights. Remember Rose? Well, it's back and better than ever. Introducing Rose Plus, the ultimate service department power tool that revolutionizes your repair order analysis. No more paper surveys or endless spreadsheets. With Rose Plus, you get a 360-degree view of your service department, uncover hidden sales opportunities, and track technician performance all in real time. Seamlessly integrate with your existing DMS, import data effortlessly, and share reports securely. Boost sales, optimize discounts, and improve customer satisfaction with Rose Plus. Upgrade to Rose Plus today and watch your service department bloom with success. Log on to m5ms.com for more info. Boost your dealership's success with M5 University, your key to automotive excellence. Our expert design curriculum empowers every team member, from service advisors to porters, with communication skills and confidence. It's not just training, it's an investment in your dealership's future, driving customer satisfaction and profit growth. Log on to m5ms.com today and unlock your team's potential with M5 University.